Hello everyone. Hi there. It's Teacher Asuka. Today, I'd like to talk about unforgettable memories of my stay in Spain. During my stay in Madrid, I decided to stay at a guest house or B&B with my Japanese friend who was one of my flatmates for only a day. On the next day, I would come to my Spanish friend's house and my friend had a plan to visit another place. After we checked in that accommodation, I visited Museo del Prado, which is Prado Museum, with her in the afternoon. I was so happy to visit such a world-famous museum, but my friend was not so interested in it. Therefore, she walked around the museum extremely fast, so that I lost sight of her at last. I waited for her at the entrance of the museum for a long time, but I couldn't find her in the end. Unfortunately, I didn't have any key and a map or a booklet relating to my accommodation. My friend had our room's key. Moreover, I was not able to speak Spanish. I was at a loss how to go back to my accommodation. It was getting darker and darker in the evening. I decided to go back to my accommodation by myself, and I started walking around the way I had used before. Luckily, 3 Spanish women who might be young college students spoke to me in English. So I was relieved and told them I got lost the way back to my accommodation. They decided to take me to my accommodation immediately and walked with me for a while. Soon I thought back the scenery or a signboard to get to my accommodation and tell them, finally we found it. I really appreciated such a warm help for them. Next morning, I took a train from Madrid to Logroño, which my Spanish friend lives in, and also the beautiful capital of La Rioja. La Rioja is an administrative district and is famous for its natural landscape as well as its quality of wine. It took around 3.5 hours away from Madrid by car. After arriving at the city of Logroño, I finally met my Spanish friend. At that time, she lived with her family in Logroño on weekdays and spent with her grandparents at their house in another place on weekends. I was so surprised to hear that people in Spain tend to have 2 houses throughout their lives. It is hard to believe such a story in Japan. I stayed in her house in Logroño and visited her grandparents' house on weekends. My friend dropped me to some travel spots like an old church and city center. When I visited her grandparents' house, her grandfather spoke to me in Spanish and gave me some allowance. His warm behavior made my tears fall down because I was away from home for many months, as well as I was glad he treated me like a grandchild, even if I was a foreigner. I had a Sunday big lunch with all my friend's family members there. Her grandmother and her mother cooked delicious Spanish dish, and I found that they provided such various dishes all together unlike the way of French. The place where her grandparents live is a suburban area. I've heard that I was the only Japanese who visited there. When I saw some children, they came to me with saying, Japonés, Nintendo, and Super Mario. I was impressed that how Japanese video game companies were known for its products in such a place. On the last day, my friend made me a Spanish omelette, which I wanted to eat most. It tasted exceptionally good. I really enjoyed talking many things with her, her cousin, and her family during my stay there. Thanks to my friend's warm hospitality, I had a lot of unforgettable memories. Our exchanges and friendships have been continuing even now since then. I think that such relationships would give us happiness and blessings more and more. Thank you for reading or listening this time as well. See you next time. Bye for now. From Teacher Asuka.